Welcome to GoldBoys Live, presented by Pickett Sports. Sleeper picks. We'll do some baseball, some college football. We'll see what else we get into. Hard Knocks starts tonight. I don't know if you guys are into that, but
Yep.
the one time the Jets were on, it was awesome. So hopefully it will match that or at least come close. Brad, Josh, Brian is out doing God knows what. Man, that guy's got a lot of excuses. What's going on, guys?
He's got a lot of PTO that he's using right
Oh,
now for sure.
Every time I see it, Brian's off more than he's on.
Traipsing the beaches, sucking down White Claws. Are you worried about the Jets being on Hard Knocks and getting the Hard Knocks jinx with all your
no,
futures?
no.
Okay.
I don't believe in
last
hard
time?
knocks.
What happened last time they were in Hard Knocks?
I don't know. Where's the Rex Ryan there?
AFC title game.
Butt
It's the last
fumble?
time they were in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it's been that long since they had the Jets on there.
And that's been
Yeah,
it's
it's
been that long since they made the playoffs.
They weren't that interesting, yeah. Damn.
Well, it's usually not a playoff team. Like these teams don't want to do it. I think you're forced to do it, and there's
Yeah,
certain criteria
you
where
are.
if you don't make, like if you haven't made the playoffs, if you don't have a first year coach, there's certain
Yep.
criteria where now they're in it. But
Your punishment is be on Hard Knocks.
oh, it was great. I mean, it's long enough now where certain parts of the audience might not have watched it or remember it. But man, like Revis was holding out, so that was a big storyline. Rex, every other word was the F word, so it was like fun. He was funny.
Yeah.
Cromartie talked about it was like 8 or 9 kids that he had. He was trying to remember all their names and stuff. Like it was fun. It was good to watch.
Yeah,
So
that's
hopefully
when Rex Ryan let us know about his foot fetish, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. I think
Is it a
that
different time? Is
I
it
think that
post-game?
just got out or something. Yeah. But let's start baseball bets for today. Strider got rocked last night. How about that? The Cy Young odds just got flipped upside down,
Yeah.
where it's now Snell and Gowan basically co-favorites about Strider. It was funny. He was getting rocked, and every couple of minutes the line would move like 100 cents. It was like plus 300, plus 250 to start the night. He gets taken out. It's plus 500. 5 minutes later, it's like plus 800. I think it settled at like 7-1 at DraftKings. So take it wherever you guys want to go. Any thoughts from last night? Anything on the games today? Whatever you guys want to talk about.
Yeah, man. Strider is not helping my my fantasy. Like I needed a big night from him. Like I need to keep grinding. Like I'm in third place right now, and he's my ace, and
Yeah,
he was
it's crunch
unace
time.
like.
Nah, I mean, yesterday wasn't awesome. It wasn't bad. There were like a lot of strikeout bets I feel like being made. I definitely hit the under strikeouts for that White Sox Yankees game for Cease and for Cole and parlayed them. So that was a nice 3-1. But like other than that, honestly, it was this pretty good night for some underdogs as well. But still liking my division bets, even though the Cubbies got smacked by
they
the
did.
Mets.
They did. That might be the turning point for the season for the Mets. The Mets could go on one of these runs now where no, I'm
You're
just
just being mean. You're just mean spirited.
Man, that Mets game, the rain came one inning.
we had
too
the right
late.
idea. We had the right idea.
One
Just didn't
inning
work
too
out.
late.
Yeah, you got to play. Yeah, it's tough to like play. I like doing it for day games where we're on the show and it's like we're like 30 minutes from pitch and it's like almost about to start pouring in Baltimore, whatever. Like I like those. The one you have to wait like 5-6 hours with that finicky northeast weather. I hate it also, but still got it right for the White Sox game. But I do have a couple of things for today. No day games, right? Again,
4 o'clock Eastern, Phillies
4 o'clock.
Nationals makeup. Wheeler against.
okay.
I don't know if
Yep.
it's Trevor Williams or they switched it, but Phillies,
Oh, so-
Washington play a doubleheader starting at 4.
Suarez is not going to start, even though he's supposed to start last night.
I think he's starting.
wow.
I think he's starting the
He's
night
gonna
game.
start tonight. Okay, got you. Yep, Zach Wheeler out there against Trevor Williams. Oh man, damn! I didn't see that last time I was looking at it, but I am
Yeah, I think
fading.
they had it wrong earlier this morning.
Oh yeah,
I think MLB had it wrong.
That makes sense. I need to make sure that my lines aren't super stale at this point, but I was going under in that Dodgers game. I'm going under for Urias and his Ks. I was just looking at some stuff where I mean, look, the Diamondbacks are like pretty much the worst offense against lefties over the past month and a half. But Urias is also not great. And the thing about right now, and the thing about Arizona is they have struck out the third fewest times against lefties, despite not being able to get an average up or slugging or any of that stuff. So
Wow, 4.5. That's low for a guy with his sort of stuff.
it went all the way down to 4.5. That's what I was saying is I got a 5.5, and it's already juiced to the under at -125, and I got it at 5.5 at
What book?
-140 on DraftKings. I got FanDuel last night. I got a -140
Yeah,
on 5.5.
doesn't really help you.
4.5. They're ahead of that. Then I did not think they would be quite as far ahead of that, but they baked it into the number already. So, but yeah, FanDuel had way earlier lines for baseball, especially the last week or so that I've been looking at it.
Yep, 4.5 FanDuel, 4.5 DraftKings. Would you play it at 4.5?
That's tough. I don't think so. Not a minus
Okay.
125.
Anything else you guys like for
No.
today?
I mean, I
I
don't hate the Diamondbacks as an underdog in that game either at plus 136
Ooh.
on the money line. Brandon Pfaadt's pretty good. Julio Urias is not right now. I know. You have to bet on the Diamondbacks is the problem.
Diamondbacks stink.
I don't know if I was saying on this show yesterday or off the air or where I said it, but I bet over 75 wins. They were
Yeah,
on
this
pace for
show.
like 90 something, and now I got to sweat out that
Brandon
75. I got to
Pfaadt's
start
good.
betting against them every day. Fott has horrible numbers.
No, his last 3, he's coming back to earth. And
Yeah,
his best outing was last time against SF.
yeah. And he was like a big prospect, and he came up and he was very
His
disappointing.
ERA's gone down since he came back. He came back from
Yeah,
the DL
his numbers are
from the IL.
respectable now. His
Yeah, then
numbers.
he
Oh
was at a
wait,
9.82 ERA, and then he dropped it every one of the last 4 games. So,
I
I mean, look, it's the Doyers. I'm not exactly trying to like excited to fade them, but I do think Urias is ripe for getting hit. His expected numbers and stuff like that.
why wouldn't you just take Diamondbacks team total over then?
What's that at? 3.5, 4.5.
Yeah, he's got a 7 ERA. I mean, less than a strikeout an inning, 1.5 WHIP. He's got ugly numbers.
He's a different pitcher. You know what I mean? Than the last like 3, but
Let's see if he's a different pitcher against the
I don't know.
Dodgers.
Plus 136 isn't sexy at all compared to that minus 162 for
Yeah,
Urias.
plus 130 DK.
Yeah, the
here.
5.5. I should have checked before I brought it up because I knew last night I was like, "There's no way this is staying at 5.5." If you look at how much the Diamondbacks do not strike out, and that's the only angle of that game that was like really strong for me. But Brad, what do you got?
I kind of like Marlins first 5 over 2.5. It's a little juiced. It's minus 130, but I like that number fading Luke Weaver. I'm gonna have to shop this line or kind of monitor it, but I do want Sonny Gray over 16.5 pitching outs. It's minus 105 right now. I thought it was gonna open at even money. So I'm gonna look around to see where I can find that number. But I like Gray tonight.
That's cool.
Perez got rocked last night too. He was mowing him down the first 2 or
Yeah, he
3
did,
innings.
yeah.
Same as Strider too, and then they started smoking him. That was a desperately needed win by the Reds.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
So-
Brandon Williamson's pitching an 8K gem.
Right.
What?
Right.
And the Marlins have been smashing left-handed pitching. What? That game was an anomaly.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, baseball's tough. Baseball is
I
not
lost some money on that
easy.
game,
How about
I'm
the
not gonna lie.
How about the Angels too? The Angels a week ago was the trade deadline. They trade for all these guys. They have not won a baseball game since. They are out of it. They are so dead. It's so funny. I mean, if the trade deadline were today, I don't know what they would do, but they are a dead team. The Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
like
what's crazy
under-
is the Mariners coming back in that division is what's crazy.
Yes, and everyone's talking. It's a good point because everyone's talking about the Angels because they're the story with Ohtani, but the Mariners are an interesting story. I don't know if they'll catch Toronto or one of
Yeah.
these teams for the wild card, but if they got in, they got.
They
the
didn't do
pitching
anything at the
make some
break,
noise.
right? They didn't shop
No.
anybody. They didn't get anybody. That
No.
was interesting. Is like no one was talking about them, even though they were tied with the Angels in the division. But obviously, the Angels are the talk of the town with making moves and not trading Shohei and all that. But I mean, there was no way for me to feel comfortable betting the Mariners is the thing. It was just like, can I just keep fading the Angels, basically?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My one play here. I don't love the board. I don't hate a Phillies parlay. Just have them both win games. You get a little plus money on the Phillies. I think they'll definitely win with Wheeler.
What about
So-
Wheeler's? It's probably like 19.5 or something crazy for his outs.
For outs?
But I could see them looking like Brian and I have played this before,
That's
where
it.
we play the pitch. Like Scherzer was playing the first of a doubleheader for the Mets, and it was like, well, he's obviously going to go 7 to 8 because they need that bullpen for the second game, and they know that everybody outside of Scherzer and Verlander can't go 7. Blah blah blah. That's kind of the same case here.
18.5
Suarez.
minus 135.
I would still probably take the over on that because I think they want him in there for when Suarez goes 4 and gives up 5 like he has been.
So J Rock in Arizona says Burger Homer, Jordan Homer, Hap Homer. Now I feel like I have to play that because if he's right, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you're like, wow. I looked
I know.
at it and
Burger bomb.
The counter to that would be, and I disagree with the play. The counter to that would be the whole bullpen is rested from yesterday. So I mean, I see it both ways. That's not bad though. What did you say, Brad? 18.5.
yep, 18.5.
So he's got to get 6 innings and then 1 out into the 7th. I don't mind that. What book is that at?
Brad, which one were you looking at?
Oh, I was just looking at offshore. That's all it's loaded for me.
Okay. I've got
Okay.
oh shoot, I just went to the wrong one.
Do we have it on do we have it
Go
on
into
Legals?
Yeah, I can check DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm looking at DraftKings right now.
I'm not seeing it. Sugar House.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's only
No,
walks.
they're not
They don't want
posting.
anything for this. What?
I mean, I thought you guys were a sports book. Sports book doesn't want to take
Right?
bets.
Don't you
That's
want
fine.
action?
Jeez. Frustrating.
Pitcher props, player strikeouts. Nope. All we have is strikeouts. Wheeler's at 5.5
Where?
on FanDuel.
5.5.
Yeah, strikeouts.
What am I missing? Oh,
Really?
Washington doesn't strike out a
I
ton.
guess they don't strike out.
They don't.
They're
It,
all Kybert Ruiz, like 2 for 4 with some slap hits. That's the whole Nationals lineup.
How juiced is the over?
minus
Minus
150-ish.
154.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so it is juiced a little. I don't know, man.
Who's taking less than 6 strikeouts for Zach Wheeler? Has he
Let's
gone less
see.
than 6 in his last like 5 or so starts? I bet
I don't
not.
think so.
No
Yeah, I
way.
got 5.5 minus 150. You know what? I'm gonna pay to find out. I'll lay the 150 there. I will lay the
That's
150.
crazy. That's
Yeah, it
Vegas,
is.
right?
It is.
He had 4 his last time out against the Fish. Other than that, he's had at least 6 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row.
All right. All right. Anything else on this card you like?
I was trying to find an angle in that Rays game with the cards. I was trying to like convince myself that the Rays turned a bit of a corner by smashing right-handed hitting in that Tigers series, and now they have Eflin on the mound. And that I still don't trust the Cardinals. I know they have like one of the better slugging OPS numbers, all that since the All-Star break. But I'm happy to fade Michaelis, whose expected numbers are awful. Everything is awful this year. He's had like 1 or 2 good starts against not great lineups, in my opinion, like the Mariners and the Giants. So I think there's opportunity there. You have to take like the first 5 run line to find any value on them winning and backing Eflin that way. But that's why I was like, I'm not putting big money on this, but I did take that first 5 Tampa Bay on the run line minus 122.
Yeah, Eflin has the lowest home ERA in the American League.
Love that. And your guy Michaelis,
Michaelis,
Right-handed and left-handed pitcher.
Yep.
How bad are the Yankees before we get to Brett has a college football play?
Painful. You lose with Garrett Cole on the mound. Painful.
Not just that. Cease walked like 19 different guys and they still couldn't score. Boone had a classic eruption where he's mocking the umpire. That was boy, they stink though. I don't think Judge is healthy either. I think he's playing through. He just doesn't seem healthy.
He came back and injected them with some like optimism just because he was there, and then they're like, "Oh wait, sorry, we suck. Let's just go back."
Let's go back.
I think what is it? It's a bad toe, and he's playing on it every day, and I just think it's getting worse. I mean, I think he's going to need surgery. I'm at the point where they should probably just shut him down. Now, another bad series, so you know what? Just get ready for next year. This team doesn't have it. This team, I mean, they're really not that far out of it, which is hard to believe. They're not that far out of it, but this team's going nowhere. It stinks. Absolutely stinks.
Can I interest anybody in Guardians and Blue Jays there and the under? I want to make sure it's still at like 8. It might be 8.5 by now. It was 3-1 yesterday. The Guardians don't have Josh Naylor. They can't hit anybody. Kikuchi looks really good. It's at 8 still. I would take it. Bibby's looked pretty good as well. The money line's minus 130 for the Blue Jays. I'm so off the Guardians. Like I kind of like some of their stuff. They got rid of Savali. Naylor's hurt at this point. Jose Ramirez, if he plays, is about to be suspended.
He is suspended 3 games.
Okay, he's already suspended, so he's not in. So who's hitting for them? Bo Naylor.
Gavin Williams threw a great game last night too. He was unbelievable.
And Bobby's better, and Kikuchi's looked good his last 2 or 3.
Yeah, Bobby's good. Bobby and Williams are both good. The rest of the team is a disaster.
Yeah. I'm gonna hit that. I don't know why I'm just talking about it like this. I like both those bets, the under and them to win the money line.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not a great slate here. It's really not. I don't love the slate here.
Yeah.
I feel like you're saying like pitchers and how to play them, which I agree with.
Braves minus 159 against the Pirates. I know they're not pitching.
I just clicked on that, but it's like, what do you do with Keller?
Is it Keller going?
He's gonna get annihilated, isn't he?
Probably.
Let me find those home run props, or at least some hit props for my guy Olsen.
Parlay plus 352 over 1.5 walks. Keller, Freeland, Valdez. I don't hate that at all.
Matt Olsen home run plus 235. What are we doing?
Brad, you had a football play. You guys want to do? Josh, are you into college football? Or are you?
Not as much. I'm from Connecticut. Yeah,
go Huskies.
Yeah, go Dan Orlovsky.
I have a college football play. I'll give you 2 because they're correlated. I have Michigan to make the playoffs at plus 125. Michigan over 10.5 wins. That's gonna be my bigger play of the two. First, let's just talk about it. Like Michigan returned 78% of their. I mean, excuse me, they returned I think it was 81% of their production, but 78% coming from the defense. They have great offensive line. They won back-to-back offensive line of the years. They returned 7 starters on that offense there. With Blake Corum should be healthy. Donovan Edwards running behind that line. Good news is they dodge Iowa. They don't play Iowa. They don't play Wisconsin, nor do they play Illinois. 3 teams that could give them trouble, and they get Ohio State at home this year. I think their numbers speak that they could probably head into Penn State undefeated, which means they just need to win 2 of their last 3. They end at Penn State, at Maryland, and Michigan and Ohio State at home.
If I gave you, do you like anyone for the futures? Like, what is the best bet? People like to bet futures. Georgia's obviously the short shot at plus 210. Is there somebody other than Georgia that is worth a bet? Maybe Georgia's worth a bet. Is there somebody at all that's worth a bet?
Let me look to see what the odds have.
I can
haven't
actually
looked at the
make
odds
the
in a while.
case Georgia at plus 230, whatever. They have such an easy schedule that they'll get in the playoffs. And once they get in the
Yeah,
playoffs, they're going to be like 7-point favorites against all these teams. And you'll be happy to have the plus 200 or plus 230 or whatever it is. So I don't know. I know a lot of people like Penn State and their defense. They figured, hey, maybe they have a quarterback now. They're loaded on D.
I don't like taking Penn
Any
State just
either
because of the
one?
fact that they have to play Ohio State and Michigan.
Right.
If I were to take a stab at these odds, I'd probably take Michigan plus 800.
Really?
It's just because I think they're a way better team than Ohio State, and Ohio State's plus 650, so I'm getting a better price. But
I just don't know about their passing game, their quarterback, their receivers. I just feel like they're never good enough in the passing game.
that's not their style. And they were pretty efficient in the passing game last year. They do lose Ronnie Bell, but
I just don't know if
that's
you got the I think to win like 2 games in the playoffs, I think you need to be like you're going to run into a team who can really throw it. And I feel like their ceiling is getting to the playoffs, maybe winning a game. I just don't know if they can win 2.
but I kind of disagree. Like Georgia didn't have the best passing games. Stetson Bennett had some good games, but they won with great defense and the ability to move the chains when necessary. And then this year, even more so, I think that the running teams, if they can get a lead, are going to be able to just destroy teams without the clock stopping
Right.
when you move the sticks.
All
You can
right.
make a case for Georgia, but when I go to look at teams I want to bet on to win the national championship, one thing I like is stability at quarterback. 3 of the top 4 teams in the odds will have new quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, that was such a bad loss to TCU, and it looked worse the way TCU played against Ohio State. They just got their ass kicked in that game. And even 2 years ago against Georgia, I just feel like they can't get to a 10. I feel like they can get to a 9. Like you need like the best team's 10 out of 10. I feel like they get to a 9 out of 10. But
That's fair. I'm just playing the price.
Yeah,
You're asking me what I play. I'm not
right.
playing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
And
I'm not playing.
and college football is not one of these sports where somebody comes out of nowhere and wins it at 70-1. Like TCU got to the title game at long odds, but that's
Like they don't stand a
situations
chance.
and
It's just
and things happen.
such a big difference in talent.
I think Georgia's still scoring. Any other
Yeah.
conference bets you like? College?
I told you I made the USC one. I'm not going to bet the winner of the Big Ten because Michigan and Ohio State are both plus 170. Like if they face each other, like I mean, excuse me, whoever makes the title game could lose. Like any Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin. So I don't think there's a safe bet in there. I'd probably take Georgia to win the SEC at minus 110. It sounds chalky, but one that I like that I'm gonna see if the price has changed. Yeah, the price is pretty gross now. Texas Tech to win the Big 12 at it's 10-1 now. It's a
A lot
little
of
bit
people
better.
like them. A lot of people like them. A lot of people are high on all these Texas teams. Texas A&M, Texas, even Texas Tech. Like all
Well,
three.
we get high on Texas A&M every year just because
You think
the
so?
way they recruit, they should be good, but
Yeah.
just the math doesn't math for me. Yeah, and then like the ACC is so stale. Like it's gonna be Clemson or Florida State, and it's plus 150. Like it's stupid.
Right. You don't buy the idea that May can get him into the title game again. Then you got some.
No, and then what's his name? Is probably gonna be ineligible. Tez Walker. just announced today. That's their number one receiver.
Interesting. Good nugget there. What do you make of all this realignment? Do you care? Does it bother you? As long as you can bet on the games, you don't care? Like, what's your take
I
on
don't
all
care
this?
as much. I think it kind of ruins college football, though.
Yeah.
Like rivalry, college football is built on rivalries, and now you're gonna
Yes.
have a cross country rival. Like,
Right.
stupid.
Hurts all the tradition too. I mean, it does hurt
Hurts
all
the
the
tradition.
tradition. I'm more of like, hey, as long as we can bet on the games, whatever. But there is something about that is the charm of college football is like these rivalries have been there for 100 years, and it's on Thanksgiving weekend who's going to play each other, and there's just
Yeah.
something to that. And you're definitely hurting that. You're definitely, but it's been changing for a while. Like my interest in college basketball, like as a fan, was really hurt when the Big East is just not the Big East anymore. That's sort of a
Yeah.
similar thing. Like the fact that you don't have St. John's and Syracuse. I mean, you still have St. John's, but you don't have the Big East that it was 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Hurts it. I mean, Creighton and Butler and all these teams, it's not the same.
I agree.
All right. Anything else? We're going to do some football stuff later. You guys added any NFL stuff?
No, I didn't add anything yet.
Yeah.
I was seriously looking at Cooper Kupp having comeback year. I think it's still at under 1,200 yards. It might be above it at this point, but yeah, I'm doing something later talking about some NFL stuff. So one of the things I was looking at was Cooper Kupp having a bit of a resurgence. Even if Stafford doesn't stay that healthy, like if he's healthy, I think he's still good for, it's like less than 90 yards a game or something like that, what his total came to.
Yeah. Isn't he hurt a lot?
No, just last year.
He did miss the season. He did miss a large part of. I remember he tore his ACL or something. I'm trying to think.
Not to my memory, but might have been
Let's
before his
see.
really good season.
Yeah, 800 yards last year, 1947 the year before, 974 the year before that.
Yeah, how many games
1100
did
in
he play?
2019, then 500 and 800. So,
Yeah,
what's his number?
I'm looking back for it right now, but it's also about how many games he played in all those. To your point, and
That he gets hurt.
point.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But takes a while. There's so many things. It's like 1150, but
Taking forever to load on mine.
Yeah, I mean he's been fairly healthy, I should say. 2022 he only played 9. 2018 he missed half the season, but other than that, 16, 15, 17, 15.
Oh, it's 1250 now.
1250?
Yeah.
I'd play the under there.
That's a lot.
I play the under.
Yeah.
Plus, like if Stetson Bennett's the quarterback for a large chunk of the season, which I wouldn't rule out, do you really want that?
NCB.
Stency, I could definitely see Stency.
You might as well get your MVP future on Stetson Bennett right now.
What is it?
It's probably, I don't freaking know.
Unavailable.
Probably really high.
I mean, we'd be laughing, but we would
Probably
have
like
been
40 to
laughing.
1, like every other quarterback.
I know, right? 8 to 1,
Right.
even money, minus
Let's see.
110.
I need to know what it is now.
It's probably most books probably aren't even gonna list it. Maybe upon request after they get done laughing at you. But hey, they would have laughed at you 20 something years ago when Kurt Warner won it. Nobody ever heard of Kurt Warner this time, and then he went from a rookie, undrafted, whatever, to back up to Super Bowl MVP, regular season MVP,
He's our
breaking all
great white
records. So
elephant. He's our like, if you had bet him 350, he's like every better's like they pray at the altar of Kurt Warner's MVP.
Of course, Rams were.
I can't even find it
the
on
Super Bowl.
DraftKings. What the heck?
Yeah. What were the Rams to win the Super Bowl that year?
300 to 1 or something.
Yeah, awesome.
Got people fired. That's why they don't make 300 to 1 on anyone anymore. They just like, even the Texans are like, oh, 90 to 1, 100 to 1. They don't hang those numbers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are you looking up, Brad?
I'm looking up Stetson Bennett NFL odds.
Yeah, you're going to be looking a long time.
Yeah.
They have Carson Wentz, but they don't have Stetson Bennett.
I know he's not even on a team. It's crazy. The bottom of the board, they just say F it. They throw up their hands. They're like, nobody's going to look.
Yeah, they do.
It is I'm not a Wentz fan. Nobody is. It is a little crazy. He's not in the league as like a backup or something.
Yeah. Stetson Bennett is 150 to 1 for offensive rookie of the year.
That's actually not horrible. Stafford gets hurt in like week 3 or 4 and he's decent. That's not horrible.
Not bad at all.
150 to 1 offensive rookie of the year.
It's funny.
I mean, that's not terrible.
No,
can you tell it's August 8th right now?
Right.
We're talking Stetson Bennett MVP odds.
Should we wait for Brian to get back to Dame talk, or
I know. That is quieted down. I wonder how that's gonna.
Because nobody wants Tyler Hero. All of a sudden, we're just gonna hear like Pascal Siakam's on the Blazers and Dame's in Toronto.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say that. I don't. Here's the thing: nobody really wants Dame.
No.
His age, his contract, having to give up a bunch of picks. If you're not like a top 5 title contender, Like, why are you going to trade for Dame?
It's
Like, what is?
messy though. It's just it got messy because of there's an email going around saying he
Yeah,
only wants to play, but then the email goes back around saying just kidding. Then another
right.
email, it's like, and so there's just weirdness, and then it's like
But let's just say there's
so
none of that shenanigans, and you're the Raptors. Like, what does Dame do for you?
no, not the Raptors. That's a dumb example, but
But
like
there's not. But like we've been over this before. But like, what are the good examples? Like, if Dame doesn't put you over the top, he's a small
there's
guard. He's
still a
going to make
reason.
$60 million.
There's still a reason to bring him in if he's selling tickets and etc.
Uh,
So like like even if you
what team
brought him,
though?
like I know I keep going back, but like this is a dumb, not the best example, but a team like the Jazz where it's like
Oh
you
my
don't have a
god!
chance, but
Oh
Dame
come
literally
on!
is 10 wins for your team.
They don't
Like
want 10 wins. They're rebuilding. They don't want that. That's
yeah,
not. That's
but I
that's
don't
not.
think that they're rebuilding by tanking. You know what I mean? Like they're
No,
not
but
doing the
they're
Sam Presti thing.
stocking picks and they're stocking assets. They're
Yeah.
not going to trade. What does Lillard do for them? What, they're a
So
playing team?
it's not a great example, but like I don't think he needs to go to a team that is he puts them over the top of now we can win a championship. I don't think it has to be
I
that
do. I do.
for the
Because
Blazers to do it.
for the team trading for him to do it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think he's attractive. You hear Dame, oh, like great player, everyone's going to want him. It's like, he makes a lot. He's small. He's 33 or something. He's been hurt. Like, you're going to have to give up 3 or 4 picks and young players. Like, I don't know. Like, what's the team? Here's the other thing: the teams that we bet would be interested have already traded all their picks. Like the Lakers, the Clippers, the Bucks. They've all made their moves to trade a bunch of picks. Where it's like, it's just not. It's not an easy fit. I don't know. I'm probably going to linger for a while. They're probably going to just end up dealing to the Heat and say, you know what, your package is kind of shitty, but it's the best of the shitty packages.
I don't know. It's gonna be if it doesn't include Hero, it's gonna be shitty.
Yeah.
Jovic, Jaquez, maybe
Hawkins.
Martin in like 3 picks. Who's
That
it's not great,
that
but who's
duty.
beating that?
No one.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Duty.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It's not a great bid, but it's probably the winning bid.
Yeah, maybe the Clippers.
With what though?
What do they come with?
Yeah,
I
No one.
mean,
they don't have any picks.
Russ is in the deal, money
Why would
wise, and
Why would Portland want Russ?
because who cares? Like you get take all the draft picks.
But that's
which
not an
I don't think
asset,
they have
though.
any. They don't
They
have
don't have
any
any
draft. They
picks.
don't have
That's the
draft
problem.
picks. God damn, if they have draft picks, they
Yes.
could just take on a shitty contract and take the draft picks. Like whatever.
Yes. It's
And
not that
but you have to
easy.
make the money work. So that's why Russ would be
Yeah,
perfect.
but
Get
I'm saying in
whatever
terms of
draft picks.
I'm just saying in terms of like
Russ and Kawhi, who says no?
it's not that easy. I mean, you go around all these teams, you can easily poke holes through all the trade candidates. So I don't know. It's funny how it's dried up though. It's
Yeah.
people were
Thank
adamant
God.
this is a done deal, and like
I was totally
whatever.
joking. This is my bad. I apologize to anybody who is a masochist and decided to stay on this pot when I said that. But I was joking. I wanted to make a joke at Brian's expense, and then we got on Dave, and I can't find a team, and we're back at the same thing where we're just
Yep.
literally running in a maze together.
Yeah. And they
Oh, man.
moved. Somebody said J-Rock says Jordan Addison 1,700 offensive rookie of the year. You should play it right away, and Jefferson will draw coverage. Yeah, absolutely.
We talked about that. He's on my squad for offensive rookie of the year
100%.
draft.
The
Yep.
problem is it's like a quarterback award. Jefferson himself was just insane as a rookie, but Herbert broke records and they gave it to Herbert. So, I mean, I don't hate it. Addison, I think, is going to be really good. I'm not telling you not to bet it, but that is my concern with it.
Yep. There's so many good quarterbacks.
Can I just ask a
this
quick
year.
question? Will,
Yes.
is Kirk Cousins a good quarterback?
He's right in the middle. If your quarterback is better than Cousins, you have a good quarterback. If your quarterback is worse than Cousins, you have a bad quarterback.
He's the barometer. I got it. He's
right
the
there.
line.
Yes.
Yeah. He is the
The
line.
middle of the pack is kind of weak. Like Sando's quarterback rankings came out when he got voted 12th. Like it's
Yeah.
hard to find like 12 better than him. It's just
Yeah.
it's like NBA superstars. If you're gonna pay the max to a guy and he's not like a LeBron, Curry, Kawhi, whatever, it's hard to win with that third tier guy. It's hard to pay Cousins $40 million a year and then build the team around him enough to win. It's hard to do both. So he's okay. I mean, he's not bad. He doesn't move at all. He throws a nice ball. He's decent, but that's a great question because it's so simple, but that's not a simple answer.
I know.
He's okay. I wouldn't say he's good. He's okay.
Yeah. It's just funny because if I asked that question, we could probably fill like 30 minutes with it. So
what do you think, Brad? Is Cousins good?
No, he's all right.
Exactly. That was much more succinct than yes. That's exactly
fine.
right. He's all right. Exactly.
That's good.
The thing is, like, I have buddies. I'm a Vikings fan. One of my buddies, a Vikings fan, is always defending him. I'm like, we go back and forth. It's like it's the most simple. It's the simplest thing. He's okay. Like he'll show me this good throw, be like, you say he sucks. I'm like, all right, he doesn't suck. He's not good. He's okay. Like waste all this time going back and forth. Like, all right, you think he's like the 10th best? I think he's the 12th best. Whatever. He's fine. Like
He's
it is what it
fine.
is.
I like how we kick Brad out of the chat with our cousin
Yeah,
stuff.
where did Brad go?
He's like, I'm done with this
I
nonsense.
don't blame him. All right, if Brad's done, we're done. Thank you to
Hell yeah.
Sleeper. Thank you to Pickett. Enjoy Hard Knocks tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Futures, baseball, NFL. Good luck with all your plays. See you guys tomorrow.